Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to look at financial education Jeremy. Maybe you don't know who he is. We're going to look at his $340,000 stock portfolio. For those of you who have no idea who that is, I'm going to leave a link to his YouTube channel below so that you're able to check his stuff out. Most recently, Jeremy shared his public account in one of his videos, which I'm going to review today, and then he had made a post saying that anyone who shared their thoughts, their analyzations of his portfolio, he would then share it on his Instagram channel. So I'm going to take him up on that offer. So if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to smash that like button down below. That would be great, and don't forget to comment below, and if you're new, please subscribe. That would be great. It would really help me out. So here it goes. Let's review Jeremy's $340,000 stock portfolio. As I always like to share, I do like to invest in mutual funds, index funds, and ETFs because of the security that those provide, but I do look into individual companies as well when opportunities arise. And so this portfolio is all individual stocks. So I'm first going to take a look at a more macro perspective, meaning I'm going to look at his portfolio from a more broader view, and then maybe go into more detail, more specifically with each individual stock. First, Jeremy's portfolio clearly, as you'll be able to see here in a second, is performing well, as it's up almost 20%, beating the market. And here, here's 11 stocks that his portfolio is made up of. Just let you briefly take a look at those now. And then if you take a look at what the market has done over the last year, you can kind of compare. And if you take a look at the overall stock market as well as the S&P 500, you'll see how that's done. And you can kind of see that it's, an average up about 7%. So 20% or 7%, obviously he's doing pretty well here. So let's take a look at how much cash he has in this portfolio. I personally like to keep 5 to 10% in cash available in case there are any buying opportunities that are presented, that present itself in the market. In this account, he has only 2% in cash. So this may be a little harsh, and I know Jeremy does have more cash available in other accounts as I've watched his videos and channels, but I just wanted to share that I think it would be a good idea to have a little more cash in this portfolio. You never know when something's going to drop and it might present a good opportunity. You want to have that cash available, and so I like to have 5 to 10% in cash anytime I'm working in a stock portfolio. Let's take a look at a percentage of technology in this portfolio. I've highlighted each of the tech companies as you see on the screen. Now don't get me wrong, most of these companies do different things, but I do start to think about how much tech I would include in my portfolio. This account has more than 70% in technology. So technology can lead to major growth in a short amount of time, but as I've learned, it can also fall like a sharp knife and it can drop drastically. So I want to be careful that I didn't have too much technology. Obviously these are good companies, so I'm not quite as concerned, but that is just something to take a look at, having 70% of the account in tech companies. With that said, about my caution with all these tech companies, I do love each of them, as I've said. And so if you take a look at Cruzy Doozy or Cirrus Logic, this is a company which primarily is a sound chip company that is in rapid growth mode. Just take a look at the Cirrus Logic over the last year and 5 years. I've taken a look at Jeremy's account for a while, and he has been very bullish on them. I ended up selling at $46 when my average cost was at $39. I just thought that maybe it was going to drop back down because it went to the lower 30s at one point. Didn't know that it was going to kind of hold and make its way into, close to the upward 50s right now. So as you can see that it's priced at. Moving on to Facebook. I completely understand why Jeremy has his largest position in Facebook, as you know, the ad revenue with Facebook and Instagram is just booming. And you can see their stock price over the last year and 5 years has been doing really well. So I think Jeremy will see the stock more than double in the next 3 years. I really like that that's his largest holding in this stock portfolio. Moving on, I'm going to skip over iRobot because I have not really done much research on them, but I believe Jeremy has. And so even though it's more of a niche company where they're focused on vacuums and robotic vacuums, it's one that I don't know a whole lot about, and I'm a little concerned by it, but I think that he's done enough research to know, where they're at, and they must have a good management and good numbers. Moving on, Skyworks Solutions. This has major potential in 5G, as that's going to probably hit over the next 2 years. I think this stock could fluctuate as the uncertainty awaits, but it is a great company and it could be immensely undervalued, and be looking to purchase more of this under $80, as you can see what it's priced at now and what it's done over the last year and 5 years. The last two stocks in the technology that I said made up 70% of his account is Uber and Tesla. And I really like both of these companies, but I'm not invested in Tesla at the moment. Get into that in a second. I just see a lot of volatility in Tesla. It kind of scares me. I think it's a great company, and I think there's the potential for it is crazy. I think that I may be interested to be a buyer, $215 or lower. I do love these cars and hope to someday own one of them. Moving on, Uber, okay? Another stock that I also like and will be purchasing more if it goes back to the $29 level or lower. I know he said in his video that is one stock that he may, if he had to choose one to sell, it might be one that he would sell. He sees it potentially going to the lower 20s, but hopefully, it's kind of fallen here the last couple of months. Hopefully, that one can get back, and they face many challenges in the competition that they have. But if they can get control of self-driving, freight, and Uber Eats, the company could begin to be profitable and really grow. So I do like Uber, even though with all the challenges they have ahead. Moving on, as we look at the rest of the portfolio, I want to first briefly talk about two stocks that I feel are great value stocks because they have dropped drastically over the last year. And that first one is Wynn Resorts. So I'm not a gambler, but I have heard these resorts appeal to the more wealthy individuals and are located in attractive destinations like Macau, Vegas, Boston. So more recently, the owner Steve Wynn had a fall from grace. He resigned. It didn't really help the company, obviously, but it did put the stock at a much more attractive price. And buying this stock obviously could be a good choice because of the drop in value, even though the company's in pretty good shape. Fizz Beverage Company, another one that I don't know a whole lot about, but I do know that they do own LaCroix and some other brands that brands of beverages that people drink, and I know it's becoming more and more popular. I am a Coke owner. Coke owns several different companies that beverage drinks. I know they're in competition with each other, so I do think I believe in their business model, and I think Fizz could be a great pick, especially in the long term. The last three stocks to just briefly discuss are e.l.f., which is a beauty makeup company that he has in the portfolio, Nordstrom, which is more of just a retail store company, and Tapestry, which owns luxury companies like Kate Spade, Coach, and Stuart Weitzman. I know these companies have presences online, but I would not be interested in these myself. Jeremy has done well with these companies, but just to me, they kind of present too much risk in a market that I feel is so hard to compete in, and I did not see much growth opportunity for these companies. Obviously, I think Jeremy believes in the product and believes in the numbers that they're producing and the numbers, the bottom lines, but it's just something that I you know, it's not a stock for me. So to sum it all up, I really do like this portfolio a lot. I would say it does present some risk though with all the technology in it. If there was anything I would add to this portfolio, it would be, you know, another dividend company. I think would be a good idea, or maybe two, or maybe something in the energy sector. I like ticker symbol MRO, Marathon Oil, as that company has been down, but is a healthy company as well. My only other suggestion may be to include maybe some financials in this portfolio. I know Jeremy has always been bullish on Goldman Sachs, ticker symbol GS, and I personally like Square and how that is priced. So maybe he might want to look into that, right, Jeremy? You want to look into one of my picks, MRO or Square? Maybe you can make a video about it too. Give me a shout out, I'd really appreciate that. So, well, that's pretty much it, and I just want to thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button down below, comment below. I would really appreciate that, and don't forget, I'm layman and these are my terms.